Oh, yeah.
Good morning again here on Tuesday, May, what is it, 19th already? Thank you for your flexibility to come back to committee, and Damien, thank you for balancing around a little bit and getting things ready. We should be up this afternoon for S326 for miscellaneous motor vehicle on the floor. This that we're talking about here could be potentially 2 amendments to the bill in between second and third reading. Does that sound right, Coach?
Yeah,
Okay, so
which could be today.
which could
All
be,
readings, no.
They might, I don't know, it means this is the time of year. where that happens.
Only if Patty says something.
yeah, that's right, only if she's willing to suspend rules
Yeah,
to have second and third reading. These 2 issues we're going to face right now are potentially amendments between second and third reading for S326 and the miscellaneous motor vehicle bill. One is the statement you saw this morning from ANR, Agency of Natural Resources, regarding to make sure that it's just clarified that the Department of Motor Vehicles is not making changes to the Vermont State Vehicle Inspection Program related to emissions. I have been in communication, as is the Ledge Council, with the Department of Motor Vehicles. They completely understand that and are fine with the language. We're going to get to that one. And then Representative Tomlinson has an amendment for potential between second and third reading. That's what we're going to do in the next however long it takes. Damien, you have the floor. And then after he does that, you'll all open up for questions and comments and discussion.
Great. Thank you. For the record, Damien Leonard, Office of Legislative Counsel. So I'm going to pull up first the inspection amendment. And as the chair mentioned, this would be just adding a subsection that would clarify that nothing in the section would be construed to permit DMV to amend the rules relating to emissions inspections, which lie under ANR's jurisdiction. This would be, because it's between second and third reading, it's an individual amendment, not a committee amendment. Actually, anytime you've reported the bill out of committee, any further amendments have to be individual. I have it drafted as coming from the chair. It could come from all members of the committee or any other member of the committee. That's just that's a matter of the committee's preference. But as the chair mentioned, DMV has been in touch to indicate that they have no concerns with the amendment. I drafted the amendment in communication with the Agency of Natural Resources. I do not know if they're able to have someone join us right now, but they've indicated that they are okay with the language of the amendment as well.
Send an invite over to Matt Russo. Join the Zoom. I'm in text with him and emails, and he says it's fine with it, but if he can join for a few minutes, that would be great. He might not be able to. So we'll go from there. Representative McCoy and then Representative Burke.
So does this affect just emissions, inspections, or will it affect that?
So
Even of that vehicle, that specialty vehicle that
Yeah.
doesn't have to be?
No, so this just basically says that nothing in our change the rules for safety inspection section should be construed to extend to changing the rules for emission inspections. So those would stay the same.
So
Whether you need a,
we're exempt, so we're exempting the emissions.
it's not
inspection
gonna-
on you, so does that,
it's not going to affect that.
okay,
Yeah, so this basically just takes emissions inspections out of any rule changes here.
okay,
And for that specialty vehicle, that'll stay the same. They need a visual inspection to make sure they have an exhaust system
Okay.
that doesn't fail, but that's it.
okay.
Yeah.
And Burke.
Yeah, I would like to request to do this amendment. This is something that I've been involved with for a number of years here. Vehicle emissions related to inspections. I have some objection.
you know, it's like technical in my mind.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'm not
Whatever
sure.
it
I
is.
didn't hear what you said. I'm
It's
sorry.
just-
I understand
yeah.
what you- I didn't hear or gather what you
She
said.
wants,
I'm sorry. Damien said that the whole committee could come from you, or it could come from the whole committee or somebody else. And I was just saying, I would like to be the person to present the amendment, if that's okay with everybody.
Okay, thank you. I did not hear.
No,
what
I'm
you
sorry,
said.
I
I did not.
Yeah,
Nope,
sorry.
I'm sorry, I didn't hear that. I don't have, anybody would like to make comment on that. I'm absolutely for that, would be totally on board with putting representative,
And I think they were
From
just involved.
Brattleboro. especially since unfortunately you're leaving us.
That's what I mean.
One song,
A little bit of.
Last hurrah.
I think that's great.
Yeah.
I,
Well, it's also an issue.
as our
right?
ledge council will attest, I sent him a note, says, "Does my name really need to be on there?" Did I not?
So I'm bailing you out, right?
I, great.
Do you want to make a motion to?
I would like to, before we do that, I want to make sure, is there any other concerns or questions on that? And then we can do both at once to make that change and do the whole thing.
What is ANR has the big say over everything?
So, yeah, under our statutes, ANR does the rules on emissions inspections because it's part of the state's air quality program. And our air quality program has to be approved by the federal government. So anytime we make changes, we need federal approval before we can make the changes. So the concern is that if we were going to amend these rules, they would first have to go to the EPA and say, can we do this? And then they would put in the amendment. And then because of the way our state is, they're unlikely to get approval for, say, reducing the emissions inspections requirement on some cars without having to bring in other cars that are currently getting a reduced standard. So older vehicles don't have to go through the onboard systems diagnostic if your vehicle's older than 16 years. My understanding is that one of the potential risks, if we said go to every 2 years or reduce what you're looking for, is that they would say, well, now you have to do OBD for all cars that have it or something like that. And so there's a potential trade-off. We are monitoring what's happening in New Hampshire to see if the federal government might be becoming more lenient on that, since they're asking for a full waiver from the emissions inspection requirements. But right now, the indication is for whatever we do, we need to get federal approval in order to do it. So they're just saying, please take that out. We know the focus is on safety, and we just want to be clear so that there's no confusion at the federal level that we're trying to amend our emissions inspection requirements without getting prior approval for an updated state implementation plan. And it's part of a set of huge documents that they've had to prepare for the federal government that are still in the approval process. So they would need to pull the documents and resubmit and then further delay state approval of the state's implementation plan.
ANR is under the thumb of the government.
ANR is subject to the
We're
federal.
under the thumb of them. ANR.
It is, yeah, a multi-level control here, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, just wondering.
Yep.
Any other more questions on or anything related to that statement? Okay. Go ahead and
Make a motion to approve the amendment put forth by ANR, I guess, or put forth by Molly, Representative Burke.
Yeah, Molly amendment.
the Molly amendment. Show of hands if you're good with that. Thank you very much. So that's what, 9-1? So. And the 911. 911. 911.
Oh, we had a,
When he gets to vote. So then we will, Representative Burke, you'll, I guess, working with our ledge council and with Nigel to, then where we go to get it onto the between second and third reading to get the amendment.
Yep.
On the action calendar when that time comes. I don't think that's significantly laborious. We're gonna need to consent it over, be able to present the amendment to the between second and third.
Yeah, I mean, I guess the question is for Representative Boyd, is there any possibility that this is all done today? Your discussions with
It's the only one? Or is there another?
There's another amendment coming.
Easy, you know.
yeah, I don't think it's hard, we're just trying to figure out when they should get the amendments now, so.
Right.
So it gets one color as a floor and
Yeah.
printed in the.
Well, no, if we do it,
Maybe not.
that was my question.
Well, so yes,
Yeah.
I appreciate, we're trying to talk about the process of it, right? If it all is gonna happen today, it'll be a floor amendment.
Yeah.
Which we'll be able to say we've already heard. Yes, is how that works. We're gonna take a break technically then.
No, we can still hear it.
Okay. We'll work that part out.
Yeah.
We gotta figure that out in between. Let's do this one and then see where we're at. So well, to be determined whether it's gonna be printed or it's gonna be floor amendment.
But it would be a floor amendment on second reading.
Third would be third, because the second's already up.
Third.
Between second and third. Yeah.
We might be second.
Yeah, so,
But
yeah,
it would be the second time around.
Yes.
You've gotta get
Yeah.
it, get on the house,
It'll be email, yeah.
yeah, you gotta.
yeah. So I just sent the updated amendment with Representative Burke's name on it. So that should be in everyone's email inbox momentarily. But yeah, you'll have to go through second reading and then move to suspend rules to place it in all stages of passage. At which point there would be a question of, are there any amendments before third reading? And that's when this amendment and any other amendments would be offered. So
You email it to Nigel.
I do not. It has to come from Representative Burke. I cannot send it to the clerk or the secretary, but I sent you the copy so you can forward to Nigel.
Can't forward to me.
But
Yeah.
if we forward it
Well, that's
now,
like
then
the
is it
previous
on
year.
the second reading?
You could just say this is for
You have time.
You can say
You
it's
got
for
an hour and a half.
third reading.
Got an hour and a half, 2 hours. Okay. But it has to come from you, which is what I was
Yeah.
getting at. So, okay. Well, you got time.
Okay,
Representative Tomlinson amendment, whether Ledge Council is going first or Representative Tomlinson wants to remind us what we're working on or how. That's the next subject.
good, and I can show them the amendment.
Sure, and I forwarded to Gabby, it's online. Okay, so this version of the amendment is similar to what I proposed, I think it was last week, alongside Rep. Southworth's amendment. He's not moving forward with that one at this time. This portion has been revised so that it's not dependent on the Southworth amendment. Essentially, it requires the DMV to post publicly if there's been an application for an abandoned vehicle certificate. So it will have a website where if you're trying to find out what happened to your vehicle, perhaps you moved recently, and so letters from that the DMV is sending, you aren't receiving them. You can check on this website and see if there is an application for your vehicle for an abandoned vehicle certificate. And there'll be contact information there where you can follow up to offer proof of ownership if you're trying to reclaim your vehicle at that time. So this is adding a second way that someone might find out that their vehicle has been identified as potentially abandoned. And again, the first way is that the DMV sends certified mail to the address they have on record.
Representative McCoy?
Do we know if DMV is okay with it?
So they testified previously that they were okay with it. This is pared down. So there's nothing new. It's just.
And I have been in communication with them and we've also invited them to testify now. But they said that they're okay with it, but I do have another question on top of that. Representative Powell?
And so I thought they sent 2 certified letters, just one.
Well, if one, they don't get the receipt for the first one, they need to send a second one.
Okay, so it's possible they didn't get receipt for either one, but.
It's possible.
Okay,
I had a concern, or I thought we had talked about. It's hazy in the back there, looking at the memory banks, but. There was concern about confidentiality, scam information, too much public info. We'll be giving them the flexibility to make sure what they were, putting out was the most appropriate as opposed to what they had to put out. There was something about, we're not having a discussion about
The VIN.
you can't necessarily put the VIN number out or not. They wanted to make sure they were in compliance with some sort of standard. And maybe I missed that. I apologize that it's foggy in the back there, but we can't require them to put out something that could potentially have a confidentiality agreement or a standards, a standards protocol. So I just want to make sure they have that. That was either, is there something reviewed there? Maybe I'm confusing it with another.
It's DPPA. There's a federal driver Privacy Protection Act that this would have to comply with, but I don't know if that needs to be stated clearly or if that's just assumed that we have to require or we have to follow federal law.
So that's my question to you. I get that. That explanation is my question to you.
Yeah.
As our alleged counsel, do we need a statement in there? Do we need something additional? We had a discussion of it, the department didn't, I don't know where they stood on that exactly. They were concerned about providing too much information.
Let me see if I can, 18.
Almost like the A and R amendment, nothing in this language bypasses the federal rules and regulations.
Yeah. You could say to the extent permitted, under applicable federal laws, the department shall provide, and then you're covered.
I thought we had something like that first, or I wasn't, maybe I misunderstood. I want to make sure,
I may have just,
maybe I'm hung up on the wrong thing.
yeah, so,
Potential to help. There's enough scamming going on in the DMV world. We don't want to put any additional information, but we do want to make sure people are aware that their property is available.
let me just pull up
In favor of the
the
concept.
federal law and see what it requires. It's not one of the ones that I remember off the top of my head. 2 seconds here.
That standard that you were talking about, I could have sworn I thought it was in.
I just thought it was DMV.
Maybe it was just discussed.
We talked about it and I think it might have fallen through the cracks of adding it, but it was. I think the deputy commissioner testified after that on this language and didn't have a concern, but we should make sure. that-
Yep.
We got a few minutes here.
So the DPPA provides that a state department of motor vehicles or any officer, employee, or contractor of the department shall not knowingly disclose or otherwise make available to any other person or entity personal information about any individual obtained by the department in connection with a motor vehicle record, highly restricted personal information about any individual obtained by the department, and I'll define those for you in a second. Personal information shall be disclosed in relation to matters of motor vehicle or driver safety and theft, motor vehicle emissions, motor vehicle product alteration, recalls or advisories, performance monitoring of motor vehicles and dealers, removal of non-owner records from the original owner records, and may be disclosed to other government agencies for use in connection with driver safety and theft, emissions, product alterations, recalls, advisories, performance monitoring, motor vehicle market research, removal of non-owner records, to verify accuracy of personal information, connection with civil, criminal, and other hearings, research activities, insurance, providing notice to the owners of towed or impounded vehicles. So that seems to be an exception that might encompass this. Insurance, private investigation, tolls, bulk distribution of surveys. There's a lot of exceptions here. Resale, and then let me just pull up what the personal information is, because that's going to be the crux here, I think. So 18 VSA 2725 defines personal information as information that identifies an individual, including an individual's photograph, social security number, driver identification number, name, address, telephone, and medical and disability information. And highly restricted information includes photographs, social security, and medical and disability. Does not encompass the VIN or registration plate. So I think DPPA wouldn't prevent this if it makes the committee feel more comfortable. You you could say at a minimum and to the extent permitted by federal law, the list shall include.
I think it would be good to cover
Yeah.
cover that.
Okay. So. I'll show you that language.
Representative White?
I just have a question on the contents of the amendment. So, this website will publish license plates or VIN numbers for those vehicles that are applying for applying for a salvage title. Will also include salvage titles that have already been issued or just ones that are pending?
So that is,
What the time frame is?
yeah, there's no requirement in here that they keep the vehicles where the title has been issued. They could. It depends on how they want to run the website, but
Yeah, so it would be the DMV's choice if they want to keep those, but the main intent is to make this information available during the window when it's actionable. And the reason that previously it required the ongoing list was because with Rep. Southworth's amendment, there could have been action that former car owner could have taken to reclaim the remaining value of the vehicle with the treasurer's office, but that's not a part of it anymore. So that's why it's just requiring those that have an active application for the abandoned vehicle certificate.
How long, and do you remember how long it takes from like, applying for a permit to actually receiving the permits?
Minimum of 21 days, right?
yeah, so it's 21 days from the date that they mail the notice. And if a second notice is required, it's an additional 21 days. Or 21 days from the date of the second notice, I'm sorry, not an additional. That makes it sound like 42. But it's so you mail the first notice, it's certified mail return receipt requested. If there's no receipt that's sent back to DMV, if they don't get one within 7 days, they then mail a second notice, and it's 21 days from the date the second notice is mailed until they can issue the certificate and the relevant title to the individual that or the entity that's applied for it. So the way the statute is worded is if it's on private property, either the towing company or whoever stores the vehicle or the individual on whose property it was found can apply for the abandoned motor vehicle certificate and the title. So you may find instances where it's the individual who found it on their property applies for it, but most instances, as I understand it, are the towing company because they're the ones storing it and who are out the costs of recovering the vehicle. So the change that you requested, I'll show that to you. So it says, at a minimum and to the extent permitted by federal law, the list shall include. And that way, if the DPPA or another statute comes up that restricts VIN information or registration plate info.
The powers that be that are out there and the ethos listening said we're limited by the DPPA and privacy federally, and we're fine with the rest of it. Also, they also said they're also fine with not posting it. So they're okay with not doing it, but they're also saying they are limited by the same thing, what they can and can't post. You may or may not be able to join us in the next few minutes, but at least in the text and directions. Okay. Representative Burke?
Back to the amendment about emissions, I just looked and it says section 16, but it's actually section 22, and it's section 16 relate to section 81.
Yeah, section 16 is the inspection manual
Okay.
amendment. ANR's concern was that the way section 16 is written broadly enough that you could read it to say that inspection shall only relate to safety, and we're asking DMV to amend out anything that's not safety related. and they were concerned about.
About section 16 of the
Just that it
statute.
says section 16. It seemed like it was section 16 in the, it's reading the amendment. Hopefully it looks like it refers to section 16. That's just the place where this language occurs.
It's section 16 in the bill. Yeah,
Section 22 in the bill.
There's section 22,
The DMV bill?
the DMV, the draft.
Yeah,
It's 22.
yeah, it's 22. It might be section 16 in statute that you're referring to. But section 22 is where we discuss changes to inspections.
I messed that up. In which case I will correct it.
See, I'm just
Yeah,
going
you
by
are right.
3.1. right?
I'm sorry, let me correct that. Thank you for
I didn't
catching
know
that.
that referred to some other
It
section.
should have been a Senate though, because we did a strikeout, maybe the numbers.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it could have just been my brain. The Senate has been concerned about section 16, which is the texting for CDL drivers. So they had me testifying on that this morning. So I will correct that.
Send it to me because I just sent it to Nigel.
Yeah,
Thank you.
you're welcome. Thank you for catching that.
Okay, while you're working on that and you're working on that language, I believe Deputy Commissioner Russo is with us. And thank you very much for joining us. We would like to get, just for the record, your comments on this ANR, will now be the Representative Burke, the Molly amendment, regarding emissions, and then we'll move over to the Representative Tomlinson amendment related to notifying
Sure.
abandoned vehicles.
Matt Russo, Deputy Commissioner for DMV. We are fine with the amendment from ANR. We have no intention of changing anything emissions related for the inspection. We're just changing safety issues. So totally fine with the amendment, not opposed.
Any questions for that section? Thank you very much. I don't know that you have a chance to see the Tomlinson amendment or not, the updated version. We also added a line related to federal standards, and if, not sure where Damien's at.
That up.
If you have a general comment on it, and then if you, anywhere from there, or we have any questions for you, so.
Yep. We have no issue with that. We can post. We have no issue with posting it on our website for information. We are bound by DPPA. So if there are any confidentiality or privacy protection issues or concerns, they would be protected by DPPA. So that's fine.
Anybody have any questions for the department? I realize it may seem like a bit of an overkill, but I like being able to show for the record that everybody's on board.
Appreciate that.
Thank you, Damien. Do you have
And pull it up for Matt, just to take a look. Yeah, so Matt, they added the words here on line 15 and to the extent permitted by federal law, just to provide that cover if DPPA either is changed or interpreted to prevent the disclosure of any of this information.
Perfect.
And so,
Make a motion to approve the amendment by Representative Tomlinson.
any questions? Show of hands in support the amendment. Representative Burke. Okey-doke. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Yeah, Molly, about just say your name, she raised her hand.
So you both need to work out how we notify the clerk's office and that this would be presented between the second and third readings, with Representative Burke's being first, and Representative Tomlinson being second. We will show in the straw poll that Representative Burke amendment was 911 and the straw poll was 1001 on the Tomlinson amendment. We do not know if this will or won't be done all today or today and tomorrow. So to be determined in that, we'll get the updates. Thank you all very much for your flexibility coming back during lunch, Damien. I appreciate you bouncing around. I'm sorry, Representative Burke, was that a hand?
Well, I'm just saying, I heard the word back and said, review the amendment that GM may recommend changing the lead-in language.
Yeah, it depends on when you introduce it.
Other than that, is this ready for distribution by email? For posting, is it tomorrow amendment or is this for prior to third reading?
Prior to their.
Prior to third reading. Okay.
Okay.
And did you send him the updated version I just sent you?
Yes.
Thank
Okay.
you very much. We're adjourned for this morning.
Okay.
And